with Hits with the Misses, and I am back to share more of our 2020-2021 homeschool curriculum with you. I'm breaking this up so these videos aren't crazy long, but before I jump into it, I'll go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification button so you know when I have anything else coming. It'll go right to your inbox, and if you haven't seen my previous video, I will link that below as well, as I'll reference it in here. Okay, so we are going to jump into what we are using for Bible, for Black History, and for math. All right, so, and if you've read any of my blog posts, which I'll link below, Bible is a lot more than just learning the Bible here. I am teaching relationship, not religion. So I just want to give my kids a really, really strong foundation in learning and application and practicing of that. So we have so much from Tiny Theologians. I have them in this card case, but the attributes of God, we started those this year and we'll continue them. These are what we are, adopted, saved. We have the Lord's Prayer, and we also have fruit of the Spirit. So we did lots on the fruit of the Spirit, and we may not do that this coming year, but I definitely plan on breaking those out again. But we will definitely be using a lot of these resources as well. They work really good for my kids. And some of my favorites are these verse cards from Kayla Alonso at Baby Devotions. Definitely will link this below. Not only does she have these cards, she has these amazing ways to teach her children these Bible stories. I'm just sitting at her feet and humbly learning everything. Pause for the cause. So this is pandemic life. It's a lot different, and everyone's here all the time. So you're going to hear my family in the background. Okay, play. Now, this I'm excited about as well. I was looking at it a lot last year and didn't bite the bullet. This I did. So this is Indescribable, 100 Devotions About God and Science. And if you know anything about my kids, they love science. All things science. Can watch Wildcats and Sid the Science Kid and Secrets of the Zoo all day long because they love it. So yeah, it is just quick little devotionals about God and science. Excited about that. We will also be using our Jesus Storybook Bible. This might be the last year for James with this. You might need a little bit more, but I love the way that it teaches the Bible as like one story, right? So not like these individual books or individual chapters or individual characters. Like they teach the Bible as like this one seamless story. So I love that. We will be using that as well. In addition, guys, Pinterest, the Google, World Wide Web, and I explain my planning process in my blog post that's linked below, so you can see how I break things down and how I use all of these resources. And we listen to podcasts or we'll watch Bible story videos and things like that too. So we won't do it all in one day. We could use none of these actually. And I also made my kids a scripture memory journal as well. So we might use that to just a variety of things, but that's all we're using for Bible. For Black History, I also create our kids' curriculum for that. We are definitely a Black History 365 household around here. We do not just study that in February. So I am working on like our outline for that and who we study and why we study and the theme behind it. So I will, and I'll link my socials behind, but I will be sharing that planning process and how I'm doing it via social media. But for resources that we use, the two things I'm about to show you are in addition to, I can't even quantify how many books are in our house, and books we'll be getting from the library. I love books. Like, I don't want to say I'm addicted to them. It's very hard for me to resist purchasing them. Like, the bookstore is a very dangerous place for me. A used bookstore, I, I, I can't be held responsible at all. Anyway, these two 100 African Americans who shaped American history and bedtime inspiration stories, 50 amazing Black people who changed the world, will be kind of like our spine. These like provide like the hardcore, quick hitting facts: who they were, what they did, why it's important, and then we'll use other things to like know more of their story, more action points, how we can learn from them, and things of that sort. So that's those two main things for Black history, plus the curriculum I came up with, and a host of other resources, mainly books here in our home. Okay. And again, follow me on socials. I'll break all of that down. And I broke it down a little bit in the blog post about this too. Next up, math. Okay. So again, I'll link the video below before, but we used a curriculum that I will not name, not give any publicity at all. And I'm not going to lie, their math curriculum, it was very, very pretty. Very pretty. And that's it. The lessons were ridiculously long for no reason. You had so many manipulatives that you had, so they said it was like open and go, but you had to have all the manipulatives, and it would be like different manipulatives for different lessons. And there were so many different parts of like one lesson. So I quickly realized like we would not do all of that. We would just do like, if we were working on making 5, we would do that lesson, not the base 10 and count to 47 and all of that. Like, it was just too much. And it was getting to the point, like, if I tried to do that, like, James would get so frustrated and would be so over it by the time we actually got to the lesson. So, and I tried so hard to be like, oh, we can make it work. Oh, because like when you spend money on something, I mean, don't you want it to? And I was just like, no. So we got through book 1. I sold book 2 and level 1 because I didn't know about both, because I didn't know how fast he was going to go through. Anyway, I sold it. It wasn't worth it. And when I started at the drawing board again, I knew I needed a spiral curriculum. I knew I needed something that was visually appealing, but not too distracting. I knew I needed something that was multi-sensory, but didn't require like 900 manipulatives. Okay, I know that's a lot of criteria. And it like, you can't Google all of that. You know what I mean? There's not like a homeschool curriculum search engine and you can have all of these filters and then stuff comes up. But if someone created that, I wouldn't be mad. Just take that idea and run with it. Just give me like 7%. It's fine.